How far?
I'm in the Trading Hub live session.
So first of all, good morning and welcome to breakfast session with the Eminent Trader. So I'll be going straight into it. We'll be dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 major pairs, as you can see. So let's start with AUD. And this is the 1 hour time frame, by the way. I've already prepared some things so that we won't spend too much time with explanation. So let's start. So first of all, like I always say, always identify the trend, first of all. The higher highs, the lower lows, blah, 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 like that. So this was the market coming from an uptrend, very clear uptrend, as you can see. Then it shifted here. Then it broke structure here, the first one. Then it also broke structure here and created this low. One could even argue, maybe you can even argue that this was also a break of structure. And if you say this is a break of structure, so that means this was the first shift. So we can see this is the first shift. And this was a break of structure. Then there's a failed swing here. You can clearly see that this low did not even create another break of structure. And whenever there's a failed swing, most of the time it usually targets that low, which was what the market did here. Do you get? This was what the market did here. Then it created this down, and this was what the market came back for here. You can see the sharp rejection. So if I was trying to trade this market, I would have traded this back to this place. But it's not an how will I put that? It's not my entry model. It is not an entry model that I normally trade. So normally, whenever you see something like this, you might just pick your order here, and the reason why this does not really resonate with me is because it has already rejected there and even gotten close to that low before. So this might play out and it might also not play out. But whenever there's a failed swing, you either wait for a shift, and that shift is this one. Do you get? So that's why I'm just patiently looking at what is going to happen around here. So I'm just patiently looking at what is going to happen around here. So you just have to wait. Whenever there's a failed swing, most of the time, the market usually heads in the next direction towards the nearest liquidity area. And that was what this did. So if at all I wanted to trade this market, this was the one I would have traded, especially after that close. I would have just entered, put my SL here, and targeted this area here. But then it is not my entry model. So that is that. So the next one is, and this is what the current market is doing. So it's either it breaks here and continue the movement. So that market comes back, break this area, then I'll continue the bullish movement. Then you start looking for buys, or it drops down. If it breaks here, then it means that you start looking for sales. So these are what the areas I'm looking at for this and this. If I see a break here, I start looking for sales. And if I see a break above here, I'll most definitely start looking for buy opportunity. But for now, this is a 50-50 setup. This will have been the most preferred one because it will have definitely gotten here after this failed swing and the rejection candles. Do you understand? So that's that for AUD. Then the next one is Euro USD. This one is very mad. I didn't understand what is deciding to do now. But then, like I always say, identify the trend. You can clearly see that it was coming from an uptrend. It kept breaking structure until it created this high. Once it created this high, and this was the low that created this last high. So everything inside there are like lower time frame trade, and that explains why it was stressing a lot of people before you go back to this area. Do you get? And it created a substructure of a downtrend. As you can see, it kept coming down. It kept coming down, but then it didn't break the main structure yet, as you can see. So what did the market now do? It now shifted. Remember, this was the low that created that high now. So it now shifted. And once it shifted, it came back up. Then it shifted here again and broke structure. That's why I say it's a confused market. Now is looking most likely to break this protected low. And once it does this now, it will create a very bearish momentum. So once this area is broken now, you most likely have to start looking for sales. Why is it not clicking? So if this area gets broken, you most likely have to start looking for sales. So let me delete this first. What is people? So looking at this now, this should have taken this out if the bullish momentum was supposed to continue, because this was the origin. This was the origin of this shift and break of structure and this high that was created here. But then looking at the overall trend, you can see that there's still a lot of areas that are unmitigated. Do you get now? So if this is broken, anytime it comes back up, you should most likely be looking for sales, because this is supposed to be a protected level to continue the momentum towards this high. And if you can see that it keeps, the highs keep reducing. And those are bearish signals. You can see those are bearish signals. So those are also signs that you see that, okay, the bears are trying to control the markets when it stops creating highs and start creating lows. As you can see now, it will most definitely break this. Most definitely. And how did I know? Because of this. Those are bearish signs that you know that, okay, once you notice that those highs are not broken and it's reducing, it keeps reducing, you know that, okay, sellers are still in charge. I should be looking for what? I should be looking for sales. So this should more likely break, except this area holds. If it does not hold, then we most likely be looking more towards towards this area. Like I said, the market is very dynamic, very, very dynamic. So you just need to listen to what the market is telling you. Do you understand? So that is that for Euro USD. The bears are still in the market, so you shouldn't be looking for buys now. You shouldn't be looking for buys now until probably the lower time frame. You get a shift and a break of structure, probably like this 15 minutes now. Do you get? But apart from that, you can see the bears are still in the market. It's creating more lows than highs. So it's just common sense. So let's go to G. Let's go back to the one now. So same vibe. They have the same vibe. So this is where I expect the market to come back to. That's why I marked this area. So this is the protected level for, who is this person now? This protected level for GU. There was already a shift, but no break of structure, but it created that, and you can see the same pattern. So those are signs that you look out for. Those are signs you look out for. And once this is swept, just know that we are most likely coming towards this area. But let's see. Let's see what the market does around it. But at the moment, it's very obvious that sellers are still in control. You can clearly see their hand in the market. More lows than high. You just need to teach yourself to see it. So if peradventure you even want to buy, you need to see a proper bullish reaction here before you decide to buy. This is the origin of the movement. Who is the person that is manipulated? So that's that. Next is GG. So this one too, it was on a downtrend. You can clearly see it was on a downtrend here. Then it shifted and broke structure. So normally, after the break of structure, one would have expected price to come back into this level before buying, but then it gave this mad expansion, and now it has cleared every major possible resistance. So it will be extremely risky for you to start looking. To be extremely risky for you to start looking for what? For you to start looking for sell now when the market is clearly on an uptrend, it is very risky. But then if you go to your 15 minutes and you are even planning to sell, you need to see a shift and a break of structure first of all before going with that bearish bias. But for now, I'm still sitting on the fence and looking more towards more buys than more sells. And which area is going to determine that? This area. This is what happens here. That will determine what the market will do next. This is whatever happens in this area. So this is a determining area for what the market will most likely continue to do. If it bounces here, then that means the bulls are still in control. But if it breaks here, then you most likely start looking towards selling back into this area. But let's see what the market decides to do. But now I can see a shift on the 15 minutes. So I need to wait if there will be a break of structure. I remember this now has failed to clear that eye. Remember what I told you from that euro area too. You can see that now there's another eye that has failed on the lower time frame. So if you can get one more, then you know that you most likely be selling into this area. If you get one more and it comes back inside and still sells, so you know that okay, we are selling more towards this area. Then you see how it reacts around you. So that is that from GG. Here's the chef. So this one is clearly buying from a very sweet buy. Very, very sweet buy. It picked from this area. There was an inducement, very clear inducement from it. Tapped into it nicely and rejected. It's currently running 5R already. It's currently running 5R. The trade is 5.5. But let's see. It needs to clear this, then it continues moving. But let's see what happens. But then profits has already been taken on this one. Already been taken on this one, and break even has already been set. So whatever the market decides to do now is its business. But this is the current play. This is the current play on USHF. This is the current play. So there's nothing to stress about here. This is the current play. So let's see what happens. But for you, J, this gap is too much to ignore. So I'll be sitting on the fence for now. I won't be analyzing this yet until this gap is filled. Until this gap is filled. Any trade you are trying to pick here will be very risky. The gap is just too wide. 47.5. It's almost 200, more than 200, say. Almost 200 pips. That is an open market gap. It does not make any sense at all. Does not make any sense. So I'll be sitting on the fence for that. Then for gold, remember I told you people that gold is going to 4K. When I analyzed this in our last session, I marked this area in the last session that we had. Go back to the video, you will see it. Yeah, I said as long as gold keeps buying like this, it will most likely get to 4K before December. I was even saying before December, I did not know that it will most likely get there sooner than expected. Where I said, if you are trying to look for sell now, you are just shooting yourself in the leg. Just be moving with the trend, because fundamentals is what is majorly pushing gold at the moment, coupled with the USD wahala. So there will be more funds being pumped into gold because it is a commodity and they can store it as a source of value also. So this was a setup and this was a target. Got there nicely and even did more. So as it stands now, just have to keep observing and waiting to see what the market is going to do. But for now, it's just the road to 4K. There's absolutely nothing stopping it. So keep creating more all-time high. I just created another all-time high now. So just created an all-time high like few minutes ago. So to keep creating more and more and more. And 4,000 is like a, what they call a psychological level. So at 4,000, I expect one mad sales. It's a psychological level. We've seen it play out multiple times when it got to 3K, when it got to 2K, yeah. So expect it to drop when it gets to 4K. There will be one massive drop around that area. There'll be a lot of there'll be a serious drop around that area. At least if you drop like 200, 300, 400 pips from that 4,000. But for now, you can see when it got to 3.5. Some areas are just psychological level, you can see, because that's where most people will be setting their TP. See, 3.5. See where it drops to. It dropped to 3.1. Did almost 400 pips. Sure, you understand? So psychological levels are where you should be waiting. If peradventure you want to like sell, experience will teach you all these things. So if peradventure you are planning to sell, you want to catch the sale early, the best place that you should be selling from, that can put your sell order, is like 4,000. Because once it taps 4,000, there will definitely be sales, because a lot of take profits will be at that psychological level. Anytime there's an all-time high and it just keep going like that, like that, like that, always target the psychological level to sell from. Target a psychological level to sell from. 4,000 to definitely sell from there. There will be a lot of sell orders there. Do you get? There will be a lot of sell orders at this 4,000. It has already created another, just now again, it has created another all-time high. It's going to 4K, definitely. It's going to get to 4K. There's no two ways about it. But then I expect like a sharp rejection there, because a lot of TPs will now be closing at that 4,000 level. So if at all you are planning to sell, then you can just put your SL, you can give it like maybe 50 pips, 20 pips, whatever pips you want to add to it based on your risk threshold. But apart from that, you shouldn't be looking for any sell now. Just buy till it gets to 4K. There's nothing that is going to stop it to get there. So that'll be all for now. Enjoy the rest of your week. I remain the Eminent Trader, and I'll see you whenever I see you in the next session. Enjoy the rest of the week. If you want to learn from me or want me to mentor you, I only have 4 variants of my one-on-one private mentorships, as you can see on the screen. If you have any inquiries, you can send me a DM via the link in the description, and you can also read more about each mentorship programs via the Linktree link too. Thank you. So these are some of the exclusive benefits you get from me when you sign up with 10Trade through my link and get any of the instant live funded accounts or express challenge accounts. Send me a DM for any inquiries. 10Trade has the fastest withdrawals in the industry, and they've been around since 2017. They have trader-friendly rules and they want their traders to succeed. They have the best customer service in the industry too. You are given a personal account manager once you sign up. A trial will convince you. You are in safe hands. Don't forget to send me a DM for any inquiry.
Follow me for more educative contents like this.